I think one of the coolest things. I always wanted to be a comedian, so it's very cool that I get to do this for a job. But one of the awesome perks is I get to go see movies all the time. Like I've seen a movie like every day this week. Saw the Die Hard movie today, which was pretty crappy, but I didn't have a choice of what I wanted to see. But so I get to watch movies. I also am addicted to just crap TV. I'm not proud of it. And I made the comment about the Finding Sasquatch, like Finding Bigfoot. Like, can somebody explain? I don't have a joke for that. Can anybody explain that show? It's been on for like 3 seasons. They're never gonna find anything. They're like, oh, we're gonna go where Bigfoot's gonna be at. I'm pretty sure you're not gonna find him. And then there was one of like the 3 episodes I've seen. Like the one guy's name is Bobo, sure. And he was by himself in the woods, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna cook up some bacon because Squatches love bacon. You know who else likes bacon? Everybody. Like, I had a vegetarian girlfriend when I was in high school. She ate bacon, so yeah, it doesn't really. Oh, I'm vegetarian. No, you're not. You're eating bacon, but whatever. The other show, My Strange Addiction. Has anybody seen that? Okay, see, maybe I need to start performing more at Girl Skulls because like I've had people just stare at me. They're like, no, I've never seen it. So I'm not making this up. If you haven't seen the show, they don't try to help these people. It's not like the drug addiction shows where like you need help. It's just like, no, we're gonna videotape you and we're gonna talk about you a whole bunch. Like there was the one episode where like the lady slept with a hairdryer. Okay, this is awesome. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And like she'd been burned, like 30% of her body had been burned. She's like, oh, I can't go to sleep. How about a sleeping pill? Like and then there was the one, did you see the guy who was like sexually aroused by balloons? And if you haven't seen it, this is not an exaggeration. Like he put balloons in his office and he went walking in there, which is like, like that's an under exaggeration. I mean, he was really like, woo! Like, and then I thought the freakiest one, the ones that I've seen, I thought the freakiest was the toilet paper lady.
Oh yeah.
Where she just ate toilet paper, been eating toilet paper her whole life. And they asked her, they're like, you know, well, what happens if you go somewhere and there's no toilet, or you run out of toilet paper? She's like, well, that's the best thing about toilet paper. Every place has toilet paper. And then the new season came out. And it was like 2 weeks ago, and there's a lady who eats cat hair. Yeah. And she's like, I'm trying to be closer to my cat. Even the cat was grossed out. Like, seriously, we need a boyfriend. This is not healthy. I don't even eat. I cough it up. Like, this is nasty. The other show that I'm really not proud about is Ghost Hunters. Because it's just like finding Bigfoot. They're never, every week I get sucked in. They're like, oh, actually it comes on tonight. I won't see the first episode, but I'll catch the other one later tonight. Like, oh, this week we're gonna go to the Penn State Penitentiary and we find all this evidence. No you don't. You don't ever find crap, but I watch it every week. Every week. A little FYI for the white people in here, that's part of the reason why black people make fun of us. Because white people are the only people who think it's a good idea to go looking for ghosts. Have you ever seen a black person on that show? No. Like one Hawaiian. That doesn't count. That's just like somebody from Florida with a tan. That doesn't. I can tell you right now, if somebody could walk in this building and like, hey, we should go to the big cemetery and look for ghosts, all the black people would be like, all right, don't let the door hit you on the way out. Don't know if they exist, but I'm not gonna mess with them. Which is so funny, because like in the 80s, like the 80s horror movies were like the opposite of real life. Because like the Friday the 13th movies from the 80s, the black people were always the first people to die. Like there's one, I think it was like the fourth one. Jason Voorhees is standing there with a machete with blood all over him, and the black guy's like, hey, what's up, man? That wouldn't happen in real life. I've got plenty of guy friends who are black, and if that ever happened, they'd be like, peace. Like, they're gone. Like, they're not going to stick around. And the perfect example, it's kind of changed. Like, in the 90s, there was that transition where it got a little bit more real life. The perfect movie to give a great example of why white people are just dumb when it comes to ghosts and stuff. Paranormal Activity. The second and third one were horrible. I haven't seen the fourth one, but the first one is perfect. Because it's a white couple. Stuff starts happening in the house. The lady's a little bit freaked out, but she doesn't leave. She could leave, but she doesn't. Pans are getting thrown. I think the guy gets punched in the throat. The guy's fascinated about it. He's like, oh, wow, this is amazing. Oh, I can't breathe. This is fascinating. Oh, I'm going to try to talk to it. Gets like a Ouija board out, tries to talk to the ghost. and the Ouija board like catches on fire because it's a demon. And then the guy like G's up on the ghost. He's like, no, I don't think so, ghost. This is my house. This is my house. There was a black guy sitting behind me in the movie theater when all this happens, and exact words. He's like, that white motherfucker dead. Yep, he is. You're right. I do try to see stuff that's in the news. I try to get the stuff that people don't catch. I'm not proud, or living in Georgia, this is not a proud thing. I mean, I'm glad they got the guy. About a year ago, about 3 hours away from Athens in Woodstock, Georgia, there was a guy who was arrested for trying to buy a 5-year-old boy off the internet.
Oh my God.
And I'm always, okay, you say what, but there's always a handful of ladies that laugh at that, because they're like, he was gonna get raped. Okay, let's get past that. I think that's horrible. Like, if you do anything to a kid, any kid, you deserve the worst possible punishment ever. What was kind of amusing was the guy's last name, honest to God, was Molesty.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Red flag.
Yeah. Now, another story that kind of caught my eye about a year and a half ago. I was up in New York, or it was in New Jersey, but it happened in Boston. And I don't know what the gun laws in Boston, like in the city. I know in New York, if you have a gun, like if they catch you with a gun, you go to jail. Like there's no messing around. But this guy was in Boston and he was shopping, but had a gun, shopping. Gun goes off, and he shoots himself through the testicle, through the thigh, through the foot. Yeah, y'all are moaning. Matt and I are like, oh my God, that's horrible. Like I blacked out a little bit during the news piece. I was like, oh. And then right at the end, like the news reporter's like, police have not commented on the man's condition. I'm pretty sure all of us in this room can tell you what the man's condition was. It was horrible. Like he shot himself through his privates. Like physically, if you recover from that, you're never mentally going to recover from that because your guy friends are never going to let him forget about that. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, if I was sitting at my friend's house and I knew that guy was coming over, I'm like, Billy's coming over? What's up, Billy? You're number one. Number one, Billy. Now, my favorite news story, this happened actually about 4 years ago, but you can still look the video up on YouTube. There was a guy, and once again, I'm from Florida, so I'm really proud of this story. I think it's hilarious. There was a guy awarded $4 million for emotional stress from a dolphin rescue. Now, just asking, I'm not going to point you out and make fun of you. Has anybody ever actually had the opportunity to swim with dolphins? So it's an amazing experience. I've done it before. They're majestic animals, super strong, aren't they? Like they're just like nothing but muscle, correct? So, okay. So if you don't know anything about dolphins, let me explain. Dolphins are mammals, just like us. They also get sexually aroused. Oh. Pretty much just like us. Now, there's these 4 guys, they've been drinking, one guy's got a video camera, they're all kind of giggling and stuff, video camera's on, and the trainer comes up with a dolphin. And the dolphin's name is Fat Boy. So right there, you know it's going to be a party, because if you got the name Fat Boy, you're like the party dolphin, okay? Like, people are going to remember your name. So the trainer's like, okay, well, you could touch Fat Boy here and here, but not here. That's a no-no spot. Fat Boy doesn't like that. Well, guess what? Fat Boy does like that. Because this old boy decided to rub Fat Boy in the no-no spot. And Fat Boy pins him up against the wall and starts humping him in front of everyone. That's not the dolphin, that's the guy screaming. Now, I'm not saying this isn't a terrifying experience. I can't imagine what that is like to be attacked by a dolphin, besides being like humped by a dolphin. I'm sure it's terrifying. What would have made it awesome? And while it was happening, and Fat Boy's going to town on him, he just leans in the guy's ear and goes, "You're gonna remember this forever." Now, props to the guy's friends, because you actually hear one of the guys on the video, people are screaming, going crazy. Like there's a little kid there, she's crying, like, I mean, it's like a hectic scene, because they couldn't get Fat Boy off the guy. And you hear, like, people are like, save him, help him, help him. And one of his friends goes, nope, he started it, let him ride it out. Oh, but it gets better. And then somebody else chimes in and goes, that's going to be one ugly baby. Oh, thank you, Florida. You are my friends.